Not a hero you'd normally expect Cloud9 to be picking up really early on, but
getting banned against Cloud9. Most top teams, I think, that have good
Yeah.
Chen players, it's very common. The heroes are really good win rate right now. You can take a lot of early advantage with tower advantage. There's not that much comeback potential, so it's not like you're really gambling as much as you used to be. And, you know, 2 heals. The hero's been buffed in a lot of different ways. I think Shen's really strong right now, and that's why we still see him get first round banned against most of the top teams that play him.
Well, Queen of Pain for EG. Not really saying too much about their 6.84-ness just yet.
6.84-ness.
Yeah, this is a new EG.
Yeah. It's one of Sumail's comfort heroes. He's been playing a lot of Storm, of course, as well. I feel like the nerfs to Storm in this version aren't really that significant, so I think he can still be a great pick. But the reason Storm might not be picked that early anymore as he used to be is just the flow of the game. It's very early fighting. Storm Spirit generally wants one core item before he gets involved in fights like either Orchid or Bloodstone, sometimes preferably both. And now we're going to see an Undying as well grabbed here for EG, so very, very aggressive support pick, of course. It was banned both games previously in Vici Gaming versus Rave, so
Okay.
something else here.
Now,
Dragon Knight.
before I introduce our new guest on the couch, sometimes Fear does play the Queen of Pain.
That's
MLG,
true,
they're doing the safe lane Queen of Pain. But now, we've got a new guest on the couch, Ninja Boogie from Team Rave.
Hello.
Hello, how are you doing, buddy?
Pretty painful. We just got raped pretty hard.
It was not a pretty match to watch. We were surprised by how quickly it went by.
Yeah, Ice didn't bring any lube, so it's pretty bad.
It's extra painful. Okay.
Well, the good news is you got today off, the rest of today off. You got tomorrow off, so enjoy yourself, eat some food, have a few beers, you know, forget today.
I mean, we came into this tournament knowing like we probably wouldn't place well.
Yep.
We're just here to watch top teams play, learn some stuff from them, and see how they do in the new meta.
You guys excited for TI5 qualifiers?
Yeah, we've been practicing quite a bit for it.
Cool. All right, well, we're going to get back into the draft now. Ninja Boogie, stay around. You're welcome to stick around as long as you want to. And Cloud9 EG, what are you thinking about this best of 3 series?
I don't know. EG still hasn't played any games in this meta, have they?
No, correct.
Cloud9, have they?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm quite curious to see how EG played, because we definitely know how they played back then in DAC, and they were very dominant, so yeah.
Do you think, so in both your games against Vici Gaming, Undying was banned in the first phase. He got nerfed, was it 2 days ago or something? Do you think he's still first phase?
Yeah, he's just a force to be reckoned with. Like, he can be played as a off lane or a support, and he can win tri-lanes just with another hero.
Alright.
I think they nerfed his soul rep mana. They
Yeah, before level 1 it was 50, and then now it's like
100 to
100.
130, so it's pretty expensive. Maybe encourages
There
you
was
to
something
just level
more.
it
Flesh
too.
Golem got nerfed.
Yeah, that too. It was Soul Rip and Flesh Golem were the 2, I believe.
Only those 2?
But it's still the decay and the tombstone that makes him so powerful early on, you know?
Yeah. So Dragon Knight picked up for Cloud9, a very good hero to help you push towers. You sit him in the front, you get him a BKB, and you hit the tower, and then if things get bad, you pop BKB, or Chen sends you home, or double heals you. So Dragon Knight really good with a push lineup, so might be very tower focused for Cloud9, maybe very early game, but EG has decent options for that. Undying plus AoE heroes from Queen of Pain, so they could potentially burst core heroes down on Cloud9's draft, so I think EG will probably go team fight heavy, and Cloud9's going to go push heavy maybe.
Yeah. One of the interesting things about Dragon Knight in this patch, of course, Breathe Fire got a rework, so it reduces damage of targets. It changes Dragon Knight, especially for pushing lineups. In some situations it's important, like when the team fights break out you reduce damage, but it actually brings Dragon Knight back in the lane. Like, he used to be a very common mid pick for laning. You just Bottle Crow a lot, then Bottle Crow got nerfed like 3 times in a row. The game got a lot more about dominant mid laners that really punish the lane, like the Queen of Pain, but you actually have a shot now as Dragon Knight. If you hit her with Breathe Fire, I think you actually have more damage than the Queen of Pain against creeps, even like on all levels in that mid lane, and you can actually trade farm. So this is a possible lane now.
Do you get? Is it still? I mean, when in the past Dragon Knights would always go like triple Ironwood Branch, and it was literally just Bottle Crane. Do you contest your last hits with like a Stout or something now?
I think Stout Shield's interesting.
I mean combine that with Breathe Fire, you're like, how much damage is Queen of Pain doing with Breathe Fire and Stout?
If you reduce her damage, then the amount that Stout blocks is a higher percentage, despite it getting nerfed. So it might. I don't know. I feel like most mids just say, "Oh no, just Ironwood Branches." Never buy a Stout Shield in most cases.
All right. That kind of goes against the idea of the team fight here. Seems a little bit more like, you know, Nature's Prophet generally When I see this hero, I think two things. Either you try to run an aggressive trial lane and your Nature's Prophet is safe lane or something like that, and you try to outnumber, and you have Undying for that, so your tower diving potential right now is ridiculous on whatever lane you put the Undying on, or you're looking to play split push, which Queen of Pain's also pretty good at, but Undying is awful at. Like, he is not a split push hero at all. So, I think EG are actually looking to try to deal with this Cloud9 push strat by pressuring really fast themselves early, so that the push from Cloud9 either never happens or gets delayed so much that they lose the timing window.
Oh. Two very interesting
Caught
drafts.
Woo!
Sorry,
I'm excited. Love this hero.
What do you make of things, Ninja Boogie?
I don't know, like, Cuddle. Like, are they gonna probably like run a dual lane Cuddle, like Ogre Magi Cuddle? I don't know. It's kind of weird. Like, and I think the Nature's Prophet, like, they picked it just so that they can, like, they knew that probably Cloud9's gonna stick together and push, and Nature's Prophet's a good hero to split, like, remove that pressure. And not to mention that Wrath, it's pretty painful once they grew up.
Kunkka gets picked. This is a hero we don't see often. Why do you pick Kunkka then?
I don't know. I know nothing about this meta, you know. Like, I mean, coming from like this is my first time seeing the top teams really play, so it's a learning process for me too.
This kind of looks like all pick.
I was thinking like there's. I mean, 6.83. There was always so much sense and logic to a draft. Like you see a flow through the draft. You know what you could always narrow it down to like 2 or 3 picks, especially in the 3rd and 4th slot. There was a limited hero pool. These guys are just making it sound like there is anything can work in any orientation. You mentioned like normally you see DK Chen, you're 5-manning, and then they pick a Brood.
I don't know. Like there's still no script in the meta. Like people are still teams are still experimenting.
Maybe they grab the Brood to counter the Prophet split push. Then they can do like a 4 push with 1 split on both teams or something.
Brood also can wreck Prophet 1v1 because I think it was Sinner mentioned like you do the Prophet safe lane and then you offensive tri lane with the Undying, but you don't want to send Prophet against the Brood 1v1.
Exactly. That's an awful matchup for Prophet.
At the moment, they have no hero that can deal with the Brood Mother, like easily.
Maybe Quap 1v1, but with a sentry.
I mean, but if you're the Brood Mother, you wouldn't be like, oh, it's a Quap, I'm scared. You know, it's like
you just farm.
Yeah, you wouldn't be. I guess you wouldn't be that scared anyways. Her armor is really low, so you could just kill her with spiders.
And in a safe lane, she can't really sustain her mana. Like
that's true.
She'll probably have to bottle crow, but then the mid's not gonna have to crow.
Yeah.
The Brood counters are still in the pool. You're the Axe, Legion Commander, the 2 big ones.
Tidehunter.
Yeah, but if they pick like an
Darkseer is really good.
If they pick like an Axe or Legion Commander, then that means Kunkka and Undying are support.
Yes, they have no support is the problem.
Exactly.
So.
I assume it's Axe or Kunkka core.
They can do probably like Queen of Pain Undying, like safe lane, then like jungle Nature's Prophet or off lane Nature's Prophet, then Kunkka mid. I don't know.
I like the Naga ban. Cuddle Naga, pretty annoying, and just Naga being such a Envy-esque hero.
The Aghanims change, man.
Yeah.
Reset the fight.
Did you see the Octarine Core Naga Siren?
That's
no,
really good.
I've never seen this.
It was absurdly good.
Like,
what was so
it was
good
probably
about it?
45 seconds sleep timer, right?
Well,
but it's not really about the song.
It's the illusions more than anything, and you lifesteal with your Radiance illusions around that. So you're constantly lifestealing with the magic damage, and also your Manta has a shorter cooldown, your illusions have a shorter cooldown. It was...
Wait, so...
I feel like it's actually a core 3rd or 4th item on Naga Siren after seeing it.
Are you saying the Radiance on his illusions gave lifesteal to the original hero?
To the illusion itself.
Oh, to the illusion.
Okay.
Yes.
So the illusions get
So they
HP
can tank creep waves and not have to worry about dying as much.
anymore.
Okay, so they do go for the Axe. This is really...
I feel like they had to.
Yeah, they definitely had to get a hero that can deal with Broodmother.
Prophet could play a 4-position role. AUI
Yeah, I mean,
greedy it up.
Yeah.
I love the synergy though here. Like you X mark into Soul Rip.
Well, technically they can still do Quap.
Wait, what?
There's actually like no synergy with X mark. I was like,
it's
what?
not bad. Like low level Tomb has really low range. You
That's
can
true. You
Tombstone
can
X
X mark
and
them
get
back
like
into the
3
Tombstone.
zombies.
That's pretty cool.
And the zombies are a lot. Actually, zombies. The Tombstone's been buffed versus Chen. I played Chen versus a Tomb yesterday. Your creeps 2-shot zombies now. It's terrible to deal with them. In the past, you just A-click the ground and the zombies are dead in a second. But like you can actually really mess up Chen creeps with Tombstone now. I think it's an okay pick against Chen. And I feel like EG has a lot of setup as well. Once Axe gets Blink Dagger, you can do Axe Call into a Torrent, into a boat, into a Quap Bolt if you need it. That's a ton of burst damage. It's mostly AoE and it's long cooldowns, but I feel like EG's teamfight here is way stronger than what Cloud9 has.
Yeah.
Kunkka is kind of a forgotten hero when it comes to dealing with these like all-in 5-man push strats. He is really good when it comes to that. Like any sort of setup and ghost ship, you you don't kill anyone during the Ghost Ship, most likely.
And they have an Undying.
They have Soul Rip as well.
Yeah.
Like, you can't target out any of EG's heroes if the Ghost Ship is on. And Cloud9's lineup, if there's one thing they don't have, it's Burst. Like, their lineup is awful at killing single targets. So, if EG can hold their towers and split push with the Prophet, I actually think... I don't know. It looks like a strange lineup when you just look at it in isolation, EG's heroes, but they actually have a pretty good purpose against all of Cloud9's heroes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very much, it feels like EG, like, well, towards the end of the draft with the Axe pick, trying to counter Cloud9 to some extent. Well, PL Koto.
Right.
Classic.
Which version was that? 678?
I think 81,
Yeah.
82.
I can't remember.
It was like 2 years ago. That was like TI2, TI3.
Let's not talk about those days. Do you feel like there's any
The
abuse here
Chen
for
DK is
Coddle?
a TI2 thing.
With
Sorry?
the you know the
TI3
cooldown
too.
reduction with Coddle's third
Chakra?
skill,
Chakra.
Chakra. Is there any abuse here? Maybe like
Spam
DK
land?
stun or something?
I
Can
don't
you
know.
almost perma stun? It's probably pretty close, like 9 seconds. You can
It
get
has
you
a
like
high uptime at least.
Yeah.
We've seen some teams try the Coddle PL with mixed success. I think it was, who was it that picked, like, insta-pick Coddle PL? Wasn't that at Red Bull? Someone did that?
I didn't watch the game.
It's actually sick with Double Walk. That's a 5-second
yeah?
cooldown on level 4, right?
Yeah.
So you like double walk
Is it
in.
10?
No, I think it's
10,
4. 4 seconds.
5.
5.
No,
I think
wait.
it's 20.
It goes- it's like 25.
10,
Yeah,
10, yeah,
okay,
right.
okay.
Yeah.
So you doppelganger in, you fight.
Oh, I was
Okay, if it
thinking
was
Phantom
5,
Rush.
It's like
there's
7.
no way
that would be
could-
ridiculous.
I was
You
thinking.
Doppel walk 2 seconds
Right, is
later.
that 5? No.
I
So
was-
10 second
I was
cooldown.
thinking
So
about
you
the
can go
Phantom
in,
Rush.
get out.
So
Yeah, but it doesn't work with that, right? It has to be an actively cast spell. For,
Alright.
yeah.
So what's EG side? Who's supporting? Looks like a support Kunkka.
Kunkka,
5-position Kunkka.
Enigma.
Support
I mean,
Undying.
Undying, yeah.
Okay.
It's
so
a carry Prophet.
Wow.
Fear.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's cool.
Boots first.
That's really nice.
Universe going to be on Axe. So, okay, interesting. Undying Kunkka support duo. Not what you'd expect. Misery going to be on the support Keeper of the Light. You've got Big Daddy No-Tail on Chen. Going to see Eternal Envy playing PL, and it looks like Brood in the hands of Bone 7, rotating towards bottom, and that puts Fata. He's going to be the mid laner on DK.
Brewed with mango. That's interesting. I
Mango.
feel like that's one of the
That sounds
heroes
okay.
that doesn't really benefit that much
Well,
from
really?
it.
No, think. What about like
You have a
if
lot of
you're
mana problems
think
earlier,
about
before your Soul Ring.
Pre-Soul Ring, it's actually pretty big because you're gonna have probably 2 levels in your spiders. You can definitely harass somebody down with a little bit of poison attack. It's a looks like an Undying Prophet dual lane. If they have a sentry, that'll be okay, I guess. I assume they do because they've only used one so far.
I just feel like when you safe lane Brood, you get Soul Ring when you're level 3, actually. I don't know. I mean, it's what I'm generally considering when I think of heroes that benefit a lot from Mango are heroes that are, can I give a good example? Like Spirit Breaker. You charge, you have a very low mana pool, and you really need to reset it to continue your actions in the fight. Or a hero like Medusa where you get mana shield up, but Brood was not like in my category of heroes that you usually would see Mango on. I feel like it's a little...
And because you have webs, I feel like you can just use clarities and just hide
Yeah.
in your web for a bit to
Seems a little
clarity up.
strange.
But
He just loves mango, man.
perhaps. So it's been lane. They may be one of the Axe versus the Brood. Do you feel like Cloud9 kind of maybe predicted these lanes to some extent? Or?
No, Bone 7 did something pretty good. He went up to the top rune and he planted a
yeah.
a web, so they thought the Brood was top, and then they
That's a good
immediately
point.
swapped.
And EG even blocked the pull camp with the sentry there, so they were anticipating C9 having some supports there at least. But EG or C9, sorry, predicted that, or at least we saw EE spot the plant. So they were able to predict the lanes as soon as they saw that sentry go down, I think. In addition with the smart Brood play. So
Yeah. Oh.
That's so annoying.
Exactly. Tornado. It's the worst.
he had
for
pooled
mid.
tangos too. That's the worst.
Yeah.
You can't. Could you salvage
Yeah,
Tornado?
you can.
Okay.
But
I don't think you can if you're in the center, right? It depends.
yeah, on the the damage depends on the range.
Blink salves.
Okay.
Ooh, missed torrent.
It's a pretty weird lane.
Yeah. Like Synderen said, kind of feels like all pick or even like an all random kind of draft here.
Yeah.
You got the Kunkka and Axe fighting over farm in the top lane.
Now,
But,
where's Undying gonna lane? Like, cause like he can't lane bottom. Like,
Well, I think it's good at level 1 though, because then you have 2 people forcing denies, and Brood has really bad base damage. So if you just
Cloud9 have
maybe
no
give
idea
him a
about
start.
this.
oh, hasted Undying.
They don't have a ward. This is a problem.
oh, and they get the battle
They gotta land the torrent. It's the only way.
I think they, even without maybe, but they get the torrent. And First Blood goes to AUI. Radiant Vision
That hero with haste, my
not near the
looks
top
so
lane.
disgusting.
It's probably one of the scariest early level haste heroes.
Yeah. How's the CS mid? It's actually Dragon Knight winning. That's not something you see very often.
Well, the tornado.
Tornado, yeah.
Yeah.
That makes you win any mid, you know. But Sumail's doing pretty good, even though he's got his bottle soon.
Do you think that's worth sacrificing the Chen on, though? Because obviously if you have a tornado creep going, then you can't really farm in the meantime. You can stack, I guess.
Yeah,
but
I mean, he's just stacking anyway, so...
I suppose.
Yeah, see?
If he still has a tornado, yeah, he can clear the stacks.
PL is vacated the top lane. It looks like may take, what, jungle? Actually, just bottom lane, and Brood could TP top here. I don't think you want to be rotating the Brood to the lane with the axe. It feels like that's the wrong way around, if anything.
Maybe they're sharing?
This, yeah, let's say, this feels like a laning issue for Cloud9 right now.
Just your casual Undying boxing out a DK in mid, you know.
At level 1.
All right, so Brood is going to actually TP top and meet the axe.
Oh, he ate his
There it
mango.
is.
Game changer.
And then Coddle chakras himself. What?
That's a good point. It seemed like a weird mango use there.
Very odd lanes game in general so far.
The spiders can pressure the Conga really easily, though. They've got that going for them.
I guess they're just like putting the Brood there just to sacrifice. Like, he generally won't die unless he gets like called into a torrent. No. I mean, PL wasn't getting any formed on all the top.
Do you feel like either team has a sizable edge at the moment, Ninja Boogie?
I don't know. It all depends who gets the level XP like ahead. You know, because like you got EG with like such strong level 6 ultimates.
They're finding kills across the map now as Envy goes down bottom lane. He's not getting farmed top or bottom.
Oh, he couldn't get an auto attack on Fear.
Fear with early phase boots, and that really helps him out. Gives him some extra killing potential.
Yeah.
Especially against the Stout Shield. Makes a huge difference.
Feels like EG are winning 2 of the 3 lanes.
Whoa. Okay.
And mid lane's kind of even right now. Well, hopefully reconnect right back in. But
Oh, what axe is this?
this is the Summit 2 axe set, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So,
Sorry.
Everyone buy.
I mean, he asked a question, I gave an answer. How else do I
you
answer
put up
that?
to this?
it's more like, oh, how random that was the loading screen today.
It wasn't random, you know. They picked
I
it.
think the last time because we're on like the BTS Observer account, the last time we used this was during the Summit 2 maybe, unless we used it during DAC.
I think we used it during DC.
Okay.
We did.
All right. Well, Volvo, please. I don't actually know if this is servers or what, but
Looks like it.
yeah, it looks like this is maybe servers, but we'll hopefully get things back underway fairly soon. Just getting everyone reconnected back in, though.
Actually, I had something like this happen to me yesterday, too. Like, 8, 9 people dropped out of our game and reconnected just in a casual lobby. So I think it's just happening sometimes.
Wow, Chen's level 5.
That's
insane.
Wow. And he was wild killing
Ow.
on mid.
That's what?
Stack killing. As long as you stack everything and then you wild kill stuff later, it's
He found a second Wild Wing, I guess, so it's like
Yeah, he
fine.
yeah. His large camp in the middle of the jungle was really stacked, and I'm sure he was doing his other ones as well. So
Yep.
it's that'll be a really fast heal that could turn some early fights really in a really big way, especially against tanky heroes like PL or Dragon Knight in the early game. The heals do a lot more.
And it's very good against Axe.
Yeah, that's really true.
They haven't got a good way to like push around the Chen. Like they haven't got that safe lane carry who really pushes with the Chen though. I guess the DK is going to rotate once he hits 6 as well.
Yeah.
But
They don't even have like a support that's greedy that can take advantage of a solo lane, like a Lion or something.
Yeah.
Like who's gonna sap the experience when they push?
That's also what I'm curious about.
Keeper of
'cause,
the
like, Cloud9 is like, they have 3 heroes that like can stick together and push, and then you have PL that's probably gonna, because he's behind, he's just gonna be farming. And then Brood, you generally don't want to stick with Brood when it's pushing.
Yeah.
So it's like, they're gonna be pretty much fighting like 3 versus 4 or 3 versus 5, like
Yeah.
after the laning phase.
So you're kind of saying they only want like either PL or Brood, not both
Yeah.
in this scenario.
Especially that EG has profit.
All right, well, back underway here, and EG with a couple kill advantage early on, but there is the jungling Chen advantage on the Cloud9 side.
PPD might die here. No, he'll be okay. He's got to be really careful though. Like he has to torrent every time the spiders go on him.
I hate that hero.
Support players do hate that hero.
It's like there's no support that generally has a good time against.
It's fun in pubs because the brutes are bad, but
Yeah.
Sumail constantly getting harassed low in this mid lane, but he's caught up. He's even on CS. Fata throws an ultimate, but
Was
Just
it
for the
stun
tower
CD? He didn't have mana.
he didn't
for
have
a
combo, yeah.
Because he was definitely dead if he got mana for both.
I don't know if he seriously wanted to go for it though. I mean, he still did 100 magic damage to Sumail there, and now he can push to the tower. Like, especially getting it out this early is good because by the time the first tower push comes, it'll be off cooldown again. So I think he's just trying to harass with it. If you can take your mid tower, your opponent's mid tower, it opens up the map a lot as well. Not that they have that many gankers, but
It feels like there's a lot of pressure on Fata's DK because he's like their main initiating stun, their main pushing
he's
hero.
the
He
only
has
stun.
to do everything here. Like they go on Fear there with a lance. There's no real follow up to the Spirit Lance to kill off Fear unless Chen like smokes from behind. But
yeah.
DK is really the only way to push or get kills or do anything for the next 10 minutes maybe.
I'm curious what build Fata will go into. Usually you see the Shadow Blade or maybe Rush Drums, BKB. Cause, I don't know. He's definitely got to be tanky because he's the frontliner. So
The old Fata went mech on DK.
yeah, I saw
Oh,
those,
really?
those games.
I don't
This
think you
was
can
this
do
was
that
back when it
anymore.
was 150 mana cost. Yeah,
It's a little too much.
Arcane's mech.
I think BKB into Mjolnir's the best DK build for damage and tower pushing, but you might not see that.
Oh boy.
Next Torrent Universe. Not going to go for the call. There weren't enough units with the Brood, I suppose.
Yeah, that would have been a hard kill.
Did they even have like any detection?
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah,
They have
that-
a sent. Oh,
They
he
would've
might
had,
have
like-
been outside of that.
they would've,
I
like,
guess if you
called.
know the X Torrent hits, you can just blind call.
Oh, he had a sentry too.
Yeah.
That would have been a really hard kill. They didn't have enough
Yeah.
single target damage. They
It's
needed,
call
like, a
level
boat
1
or
as well.
something.
It's
How much is like they've nerfed calling blades so many times? Like how much?
250.
250 level 1
yeah.
still, but scales worse.
Axe has a completed Vanguard very soon, and that he can just solo versus the Brute all day long at this point with his current level of farm.
Yeah.
That's really good versus PL as well because you can damage block all the illusions. So Vanguard's pretty good item this game. Stops Chen as well. It actually counters almost all of C9's damage sources.
I'm surprised with Fierce CS though. Like I thought he had an easier time at bottom. He's only at 26.
Hasn't he been moving around a little bit?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Sumail's had no help this game. Fata goes in and making a solo kill.
Yes.
That's lethal damage.
oh.
Oh boy.
He didn't blink. He could have blinked, right?
He had cool. I think he had cooldown from before. He blinked
Okay.
before on to avoid the. Yeah, Fata already forced it out earlier. That was a really nice play, actually.
There wasn't even the lethal damage on the DK ulti. It was just
He got that extra
chased
attack,
him
yeah.
down.
Yeah, that's another thing we forgot to mention, actually. That's true. It's now lethal. I think it seems like they're starting to phase out those weird interactions with things that do damage but don't actually kill.
Yeah.
I don't know what's remaining anymore. Even.
Veno ulti.
Yeah, Venom,
The
Venom
poison,
ult-
change it?
poison sting is lethal, right?
Orb of
Yes.
Venom is even, yeah.
Oh, that's
But
right.
Veno ulti is not lethal, so
Correct.
was
I
that,
think
that
Venom
was
is like the only thing I can think of that
yeah.
not lethal anymore. That deals damage.
Yeah, I believe so. Possibly.
So maybe that's next on the list, but that might be a little bit too good. I don't know.
Aghanims.
Yeah, I feel like the nature of that here is that the ulti alone isn't lethal, but we'll see. So right now, DK, Fata off to a great start. Sumail has been pressured a ton mid lane, and EG have, outside of the Undying Beam mid for a bit, haven't really given him that much assistance. Loses his tower as well as his life.
They're gonna need to find levels on this Kunkka. He's level 4 minute 9, and
That's the biggest
same as
thing.
Undying. Actually, both supports on EG's side are fairly low level 9 minutes in. You look at the Radiant supports. You've got a level 7 Chen, level 5 Coddle, and you know Undying really is an early game momentum based hero. Like Ninja Boogie talked about, you generally pick it to win lanes either 2 and 3, or you even run an aggressive trial and shut someone down. They've got a couple of kills, but they haven't really managed to shut them down that much. If you look at the overall net worth, number 1 is the Dragon Knight. You got Brood doing pretty well for himself. PL, who was having a little bit of a hard time to start, is also recovering. And I don't know. I don't know what EG's game plan is here, but I feel like they can't just keep this as the status quo. That's not going to work.
Well, they're probably just waiting for Universe's dagger. Like, I mean, he's the only one that can generally make a play happen.
Yeah.
So
Do you think going the Vanguard and slowing down the dagger was the right move, though, or is it going to be okay?
If he didn't go Vanguard, I think he would have had a tough time against the Brood. Like, it's just Brood +1, they can pretty much kill him.
Yep.
So it's just a AUI and PPD. They don't really have a lane they can go to, like, because they can't go top because the Brood Spiderlings will just pretty much own them. And then bottom, you have the PL, like KOTL spam. So it's tough. Game is hard.
They really need the Kunkka to hit 6 here. EG's lineup, with the Blink and with Kunkka ult, they can actually start killing people, but right now their damage is really weak.
And Cloud9's pushing even without the mech, and I think No Tail already has his mech.
Fata's got back up at the top lane. Brood is nearby, and Fata just going to hold his own and look to fight. Blinking from Sumail with the Sonic Wave Scream, and Fata goes down underneath the tier 1. Too aggressive from Dragon Knight. Good rotation from Sumail as he gets involved in.
That's still costly, though.
Yeah, they still lost a tower.
Yeah.
They lost a tower and half the top tier 1, I think, as well, or maybe even more. Fata did get a lot of damage in.
Space created.
Yeah. They're even going for the tier 2 now, because Sumail was top. Aoi can't stand alone against the PL, and Chen now with a mech as well.
And they used all their ultimates. Like, only ship is up, but that's always up because
Those are good pushing creeps too. So
Alpha
armor and damage.
Yeah. And not to mention you have Basilisk.
HP regen. You got that 3 HP regen.
4. They buffed it.
Okay.
Then Bassi, you know, Basilisk. Game changer. Like, No-Tail has just pretty much just been farming this whole time, right?
Yeah.
Farming and sending his creeps to push occasionally.
Yeah.
Look, he's got his mango.
Dragon Knight got... Actually, I really like that mango pickup, because normally when you rush mech on Chen, you don't have enough mana to do a send back and your global and your mech. So by buying the mango there, it actually allows him to skip the early arcane boots. It's like you get the mech 1,500 gold earlier. That's actually really smart.
That's nice. That's true.
Ooh. Rush Aghanims?
Yes!
That's
that item is godlike.
It's really
even better in this patch now.
What did they change to buff it?
It's 100% heal instead of 75.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so think about this for a second. You have a spell on a very low cooldown that you can even reduce by casting Chakra on yourself, and it heals everyone 500, and it deals 500 damage to everyone. You're running a push strat. It's like...
Yeah, that's
you have 2 mechs every 10 seconds.
What about the blind on lower cooldown? That one's really good too, because the cooldown's like pretty low at 16.
They have any way to cancel?
Oh, he found him.
Got vision.
Wow.
That thing's so like weird sometimes.
Yeah,
you can sometimes get vision if you get like the exact right angle.
That's pretty strange.
Both gonna go flying. No Tail tanks that one. But they've got so much heal between the mech and the Hand of God. Sumail getting chased down. Level 2 Blink not gonna help him out here. It looks like Sumail brought down by Fata. This is a fantastic time to have a haster in his PPD. Getting chased back to base and doesn't seem to have an escape. One more Breathe Fire should finish him off. Gets him. Universe could be next. He's gonna get... Well, Blinding Light pushes them both back, and EG, I think, realize they cannot fight the big bad dragon.
He's so strong right now. He has, what, 19 armor and a haste? Like, what do you do?
He hasn't even got much item-wise, just Treads, Bottle, and 1. Now he has a Shadow Blade.
And they're recalling him back. Wow.
Oh, man.
Dragon Knight's pretty one of the scariest heroes for me, like with a haste rune, because that stun CD is so fast. Like,
Chen Coddle is pretty dirty too. The send back recall.
That's something
there's
we didn't
so
point
much
out.
uptime.
That's really good. They can just keep the pressure up. Like it's only 13 minutes in.
Wait, who's getting BOTs?
Envy. They've got so much global presence for their entire lineup.
That's the draft, I guess.
Envy loves this build. I think I've seen him do this on PL a lot.
Yeah, I mean going BOT on it may sound greedy, but it's like if you don't need to be in fights, why not? You know, like it saves money from TP and stuff, and it's just being efficient.
Yep.
Wow, Fata is really having a good game.
Yeah. So despite the early pressure, I mean, AOE is doing well, 2-0 and 0. He's still just barely hitting level 6. Getting a stun here.
Oh, perfect.
You jinxed him, Purge.
I did.
Well,
that was really good. They precast the Illuminate there, anticipating that Aoi would try to go in and get a CS there.
It's a brute Dagon game. At this point, I feel like Cloud9 can just try and overrun EG.
They're doing so well already. Like, oh, whoa, what's going on there? They're doing so well, like splitting the pressure up. Like, I feel like EG's like lost. What do we do? Like, if we use all our ultimates to kill like a few heroes, like the other 2 lanes are being pressured. Like, it's tough.
Yeah. There's a lot of push power coming out, and no one on EG's side is down bottom. Undying's making his way down, but by the time anyone gets here, this tower's probably gone, or at least very, very low on HP. EG may just have to let this one go as the Chen Dragon Knight continue to siege the EG. EG's just farming there in jungle right now, and probably rightfully cannot defend this bottom tier 2.
Does Axe have his dagger? Because he's got a pretty big network. Yeah, he does.
Looks like a pretty recent pickup, but...
if EG don't do anything in the next 5 to 10 minutes, they lose the entire map.
Yeah, I agree.
They've got to win like back-to-back fights, and Sumail is going down.
Again, the Illuminates.
Good communication.
They've got to get a kill here, but PPD's getting spotted.
He's He's caught. He's not getting out of this one.
It's not much slow. They have to land the stun, but he doesn't have the movement speed quite. I think. Oh, Battle Hunger help.
He's dead.
Now he's dead.
They're saving the stun, actually, for Axe, I think. In case of a blink.
Or the Quap, I think.
Or the well, Quap was dead already.
Oh,
right? Yeah.
And I think E has never been a part of any kills yet. They're winning.
And this is where I feel like when Fear gets his Orchid on Prophet, it's not going to do anything this game. Because Cloud9 are just kind of... they're so far ahead that Orchid is just not like a really good comeback kind of item.
And there's so many heals, you know? Like,
yeah.
You got Hand of God and Mech, you know?
Yeah.
And that Coddle Axe can't be that far off. They might be able to get it, maybe not this daytime. Oh, actually, maybe.
1K away. Probably in like 4 minutes, 3 minutes.
He's trying to compete, get his Compendium Challenge completed this game.
What is it, like within 25 minutes?
He's got it, man.
Gotta get the coins. Yeah.
I mean, I've always been super biased for Coddle Axe. That's no secret. Like it's kind of been made a joke out of how much I love that item. But I feel like what's really cool to see in this game is that this for me is like the stereotypical game where it's just going to be absolutely amazing. Like Cloud9 it's a big part of their Coddle pick here that he goes for Axe. Like it's not random. They're not getting it for. They're getting him for many things, and that's one of them for sure.
Well, this game is quickly getting ugly for EG. They lose Kunkka. Now they're fighting around their Tombstone, but they can't even use this Tombstone to great effect. It's going to get focused down by Chen, and next in line could be the EG core of Sumail. AUI getting chased back as well, and Fata gets another stun off. That's going to catch out Sumail. Brought down. That's a suicidal blink call from Universe. Into 5 heroes, a mech, and plenty of rejuvenation as Cloud9. This game's looking over.
Yeah, I don't see EG coming back from this. Like, they've lost all map control, and then Cloud9 can just get Roshan whenever they want.
DK upgrades the Shadow Blade even, gets the Silver Edge.
That's
such a good item for this hero.
It disables the Axe Spin?
Yep, you can get Axe Spin.
It actually works?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can break Culling Blade.
Breaks... It,
or not Culling, Helix.
Counter
Helix, yeah.
Holy shit.
It disables passives.
Yeah, there's some interactions that it still doesn't. I think break doesn't disable like untouchable and stuff like that. So
yeah, not tiny ulti, which is kind of like you change form. So
that game just ended.
Wow.
17 minutes.
We didn't get to see the Cuddle. Whatever.
I
was so excited.
He did not make his Compendium Challenge, unfortunately.
That's a good point.
All right, guys, we lost this game. Let's not let him get the Compendium Challenge. Let's go next.
It's like the PA challenge where you had to
hide,
fulfill the contract. Yeah, people decided like forget winning. Let's just make sure even if we lose the game, you don't get your. Not a hero you'd normally expect Cloud9 to be picking up really early on, but
getting banned against Cloud9. Most top teams, I think, that have good Chen players, it's very common. The heroes are really good win rate right now. You can take a lot of early advantage with tower advantage. There's not that much comeback potential, so it's not like you're really gambling as much as you used to be, and 2 heals. The hero's been buffed in a lot of different ways. I think Shen's really strong right now, and that's why we still see him get first round banned against most of the top teams that play him.
Well, Queen of Pain for EG. Not really saying too much about their 6.84ness just yet.
6.84ness.
Yeah, this is a new EG.
Yeah. It's one of Sumail's comfort heroes. He's been playing a lot of Storm, of course, as well. I feel like the nerfs to Storm in this version aren't really that significant, so I think he can still be a great pick. But the reason Storm might not be picked that early anymore as he used to be is just the flow of the game. It's very early fighting. Storm Spirit generally wants one core item before he gets involved in fights like either Orchid or Bloodstone, sometimes preferably both. Now we're going to see an Undying as well grabbed here for EG, so very, very aggressive support pick, of course. It was banned both games previously in Vici Gaming versus Rave, so
okay,
something else here.
Now,
Dragon Knight.
Before I introduce our new guest on the couch, sometimes Fear does play the Queen of Pain.
That's
MLG,
true.
they're doing the safe lane Queen of Pain. But now, we've got a new guest on the couch, Ninja Boogie from Team Rave.
Hello.
Hello, how are you doing, buddy?
Pretty painful. We just got raped pretty hard.
It was not a pretty match to watch. We were surprised by how quickly it went by.
Yeah, Ice didn't bring any lube, so it's pretty bad.
It's actually painful. Okay.
Well, the good news is you got today off, the rest of today off. You got tomorrow off, so enjoy yourself, eat some food, have a few beers, forget today.
I mean, we came into this tournament knowing like we probably wouldn't place well.
Yep.
We're just here to watch top teams play, learn some stuff from them, and see how they do in the new meta.
You guys excited for TI5 qualifiers?
Yeah, we've been practicing quite a bit for it.
Cool. All right, well, we're going to get back into the draft now. Ninja Boogie, stay around. You're welcome to stick around as long as you want to. And Cloud9 EG, what are you thinking about this best of 3 series?
I don't know. EG still hasn't played any games in this meta, have they?
No, correct.
Cloud9, have they?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm quite curious to see how EG played, because we definitely know how they played back then in DAC, and they were very dominant, so yeah.
Do you think, so in both your games against VG Gaming, Undying was banned in the first phase. He got nerfed, was it 2 days ago
Yeah,
or something? Do you think he's still first phase?
Yeah, he's just a force to be reckoned with. Like, he can be played as a off lane or a support, and he can win tri-lanes just with another hero.
Alright.
I think they nerfed his soul rep mana. They
Yeah, before level 1 it was 50, and
yeah,
then
now
now
it's
like
100 to
100.
130, so it's pretty expensive. Maybe encourages
There
you
was
to
something
just level
more.
it.
Flesh
too.
Golem got nerfed.
Yeah, the
and
2. It was soul rep and flesh golem were the 2, I believe.
Only those two?
But
Yep.
it's still the decay and the tombstone that makes him so
Yeah.
powerful early on, you know.
Yeah. So Dragon I picked up for Cloud9, a very good hero to help you push towers. You sit him in the front, you get him a BKB, and you hit the tower, and then if things get bad, you pop BKB, or Chen sends you home, or double heals you. So Dragonite really good with a push lineup, so might be very tower focused for Cloud9, maybe very early game, but EG has decent options for that. Undying plus AoE heroes from Queen of Pain, so they could potentially burst core heroes down on Cloud9's draft. So I think EG will probably go team fight heavy, and Cloud9's going to go push heavy maybe.
Yeah. One of the interesting things about Dragon Knight in this patch, of course, Breathe Fire got a rework, so it
True.
reduces damage of targets. It changes Dragon Knight, especially for pushing lineups. In some situations it's important, like when the team fights break out, you reduce damage, but it actually brings Dragon Knight back in the lane. Like, he used to be a very common mid pick for laning. You just Bottle Crow a lot, then Bottle Crow got nerfed like 3 times in a row. The game got a lot more about dominant mid laners that really punish the lane, like the Queen of Pain, but you actually have a shot now as Dragon Knight. If you hit her with Breathe Fire, I think you actually have more damage than the Queen of Pain against creeps, even like on all levels in that mid lane, and you can actually trade farm. So this is a possible lane now.
Do you
for
get?
Dragon Knight.
Is it still? I mean, when in the past, Dragon Knights would always go like triple Ironwood Branch, and it was literally just Bottle Crane. Do you contest your last hits with like a Stout or something now?
I think Stout Shield's interesting. Yeah.
I mean,
Stout
combine that
got
with
nerfed,
Breathe
but
Fire, you're like, how
that's
much
true.
damage is Queen of Pain doing
Yeah,
with Breathe Fire and Stout?
If you
That'd be
reduce her
pain.
damage, then the amount that Stout blocks is a higher percentage, despite it getting nerfed. So
Yeah.
it might. I don't know. I feel like most mids just say, "Oh no, just Ironwood Branches." Never buy a Stout Shield in most cases.
Whoa.
All right. That kind of goes against the idea of the team fight here. Seems a little bit more like